Good morning, everyone. I'm Albert, your host for today. This is the fifth and last round of the Evanston Invitational, featuring six five-down players, five or six-down players. Here at Evanston, they played for the past 3 days. They played a five-round robin, and this is the fifth and last round. Coming into today, Eric Yoder has performed really strong. He is currently undefeated, and in fact, he has already clinched a title because everybody else has had at least two losses. So for today, the two boards we'll be focusing on will be between Sungsoo Kim and Cheuk To Tsui. These are the two Chicago native five dans, so I'll definitely be giving them close attention. And the other board, we have Tang versus Jeremiah Donley. So I mentioned Eric has been undefeated, and while Sungsoo, Paige, and Jay have had two losses, while Chuck and Al have only won one game. So I think the fight for second place is wide open. And if we get a crazy result in the last round, there could be a five-way tie for second where everybody gets 2-3, goes 2-3, while Eric continues to be undefeated. So the game has been in the opening stages right now. I think it's pretty. Pros players have played pretty cautiously. A little bit about the background. The format is a slow tournament, so you can see the player's clock here. They start out with an hour, and this goes by Fisher time. So for each move they play, they get 15 seconds added to the clock, and there's no Bioyomi. We'll toggle to the other board in a little bit, and maybe I'll just introduce the players a little bit too. So they're both five dons from Chicago, and in terms of their playing style, I think both players are fairly solid and balanced. I think Sungsoo is very well read in just the AI opening Joseki, knowing local shapes. He has been doing a lot of life and death recently, and he could even pass four dan on one-on-one Wei Chi, which is very, very impressive. I think Chuck, he's also working a lot on Endgame and Life and Death recently, but I think his strength is really direction of play and the consistency. So he really doesn't have major blunders. He performs well under pressure, but maybe he struggled a little bit yesterday from spending too much time at the beginning and really not able to hold a good position at the end. So we'll see if he is able to correct on the time allocation problem. As for Sungsoo, he had a very exciting fighting game with Eric yesterday, but came out a little bit short he lost by 2.5 points after making 3 to 4 very large scale exchanges. So he told me a few days ago that he is a balanced and solid player, but he seems to do better when the game is very chaotic and is fighting oriented. So we'll see if he chooses to play the game he likes or the game he thinks he's good at. Okay, so in this game, Sungsoo is white. He just played this attachment to black's one space enclosure. It's a pretty common move. This move kind of basically reduces black's potential for the corner to expand. There are some common variations. Okay, so Chuck played the simplest one. So now white can tenuki or jump here locally. The more complicated variation will obviously be if Black Hane in the bottom or top. But maybe Chuck is afraid that Sungsoo has studied up this shape a lot, so he doesn't want to get into um, an early local fight. So this is still fine. So it seems like it will be a territory versus Moyo game. So if white jumps, then obviously black has three corners, and white has a lot of potential on the bottom left. So if white jumps, I think black will have to do something about the bottom left. Okay, so actually white chose another balance move. Maybe Sungsoo is not interested in a Moyo game either. And if any one of the viewers have questions, feel free to drop your comments or questions in chat, either in YouTube or Twitch. We are streamed on both places, and both chats are actively monitored. Okay, I like this shoulder hit. So basically, if white push, doesn't matter which way white pushes, black can just jump. It's a very easy way for white to settle. And it's hard for white to attack this group. One thing way white might consider is to pincer. It looks a little strange at first to allow black to block, but as soon as black blocks, then this group becomes a little bit heavier. So then white at least have a target to attack. So a common pincer will be this move. And if black blocks, then white will push and then jump. So then black's a little bit heavy. Blacks had options. For example, maybe black can Kasumi. That might make a lighter shape. Or the simplest way for black is to not block right away, because notice this exchange already compress white's moyo to the third line. So for example, black can Tenuki here, or later even black just jumps toward the center, and white connects back. This is only territory on the third line. So black can totally be satisfied with this. I expect this game to go a little bit slower than the other game between Al and J, so I'm going to switch to the other board. So that we don't miss any action. Okay, indeed, they have played a few dozen more moves. So it looks like a very typical opening in 3 corners. In the bottom right, it was like a Kitani Joseki, and then white invaded. I usually like the side getting the bottom territory. But it's interesting that white got an extra stone, some extra stone like around this area. Sorry, I can't draw, but just notice the stones around here. Usually white doesn't have these stones. So I wonder if white made some extra exchanges, and it's unclear. I think this is a little better for black because black essentially got an extra Atari right here. So white got a lot of territory here, while black kind of has a wall. The problem with this wall is that there are no eyes, and white is very solid in the corner. So later, for example, if white peeps and then jumps, just settle the bottom left group, then black's whole wall is kind of floating, and black has no points. Keima is a shape, but locally it's actually better for white to play the monkey jump Keima, one space up, or the attachment here instead of this Keima. The reason being, this Keima doesn't really have a follow-up. If white plays, and it's a little bit looser, so if white plays a monkey jump, then white can Kasumi back. So get this shape, and okay, toggle. Yeah, white can get this shape. And then white attaches here first, and of course white can have a nice shape with extending forward. But of course, this is a very fairly minor thing at this stage in the game. And a little bit about the players. Al Tang is our youngest competitor here. I believe he's only 13. He's from Michigan. He's improved very rapidly in the past couple of years. I remember the first time he came to the Chicago tournament, I think he was only 1 or 2 dan, and now he's a 4 dan, and who beat a 5 dan yesterday. So we might see him in our open section very soon. His sister, Della, also plays, and they're, I think, one of the strongest youth players in the Midwest. And Jay is part of the Columbus, Ohio trio of high dan players, along with Eric and Paige. He has a very fighting-oriented style. I think he just really thrives in very intense fighting. I did tell Al that if he wants to beat Jay, he would have to slow down at times to really catch Jay's mistake, because when you play such intense fighting oriented games, you're bound to have mistakes. And I think both of them tend to play really fast. So I think whoever is able to catch each other's impulsive move will probably prevail in this game. So J attach here. I was trying to see. My instinct for black here would be maybe to attack from the bottom. For example, like I think a move to fix a bottom shape would be important. So this move look is simple. It's a good shape. It takes away white's eye, and now black has a solid ice face in the bottom. And on the left hand side, white doesn't have a great move either. So if it's white's turn, if white jumps here, imagine this wedge stone's not there, of course. Black can still cut. So there could still be some issues. So white has to be careful about how to escape here. So this is a very direct way of making territory. I think white can just escape toward the center, and the left side is not super important right now. So yes, black can get some territory here. It'll be good if that's big. But if white can attack this group, white can easily make up 20 points in the center to the right hand side. And maybe the white can try to see a better sequence. Yeah, so the Hane, I think it's almost expected. There's not a lot of white doesn't have a lot of other options. So in the other direction, I said maybe white will fix the center, but I think it's equally likely that white will try to settle here. Even spending a move here, it takes away all black's eye shape, and the fix is a cut too. And now later, if black tried to jump toward the center, all of these moves are dame. So I think that's something to keep in mind when trying to evaluate this shape. It looks like a wall, but there are very few ways for this wall to turn into solid territory. So it's hard for black to profit from this. And later in the mid game to late game, most likely black will have to spend a few moves jumping toward the center to connect back to another group. And these moves are always dame, unless black can try to make some sort of influence toward the center, where this wall can help seal the moyo. In which case, then it will become very effective. But I think that situation will not happen in the game because the center is fairly split. And I just noticed something. Another interesting shape about this game is that white played the Kasumi here fairly early. Usually, white would want to have an extension to the side first before playing this Kasumi. Because the corner exchanges are pretty much just some Sente light exchanges. White should treat these stones lightly. So spending here so early, it's, I would say, a little bit unusual. Okay, so they're both, I think, playing cautiously. They're definitely much slower today than what they were playing yesterday or the day before. I think the game between Jay and Paige, they were well over 100 moves, 15 minutes in. With that, maybe we can check back to board one. Okay, so it seems like Sungsoo did play the pincer that I suggested, and then Cheuk Tenuki'd and played this move, and then white kicked, and then black jumped, and then white wedged, and then started this cutting fight. I wonder how Chuck is feeling right now, because yesterday he played a similar style of game where he had three corners and invaded Al's Moyo, and he did not play the Sapaki very well and end up losing that game. And this is kind of repeating the same setup where it's got an even fight, and where Chuck has to be the one invading the Moyo. So maybe he wants to redeem himself from that type of game, or maybe it just happened like that, and he will have to perform better. It should be roughly even fight. So obviously the bottom group is a little bigger, and it has to live here. It wouldn't be super hard, I think, if white black plays simply, even just something like this and push up. Black should have a comfortable life. Yeah, this should be a live shape, especially since there's a clamp here later too. On the outside, maybe black is afraid of something like this. But black can very easily escape to the center, so I think that group will not be in immediate danger. The key here is probably white maybe doesn't have to capture anything. So if white just later come back and protect the territory on the third line, white has a good amount of points on the left too. So it's not like black just has to live. Black also have to live efficiently. And if we look at the other three corners, maybe black has 12 points bottom right, top left, maybe another 12. So 25, around 25, and then another 10, 15 points in the top right. So black has a little bit shy of 40 plus some influence potential in the top side. If you just count the corner, white easily has 15, probably closer to 18. And then with the right side, probably another 7 to 25. So white just needs another 10, 15 points on the left side, maybe the center. So definitely a balanced game so far. Um, and the game will really revolve around how efficiently black can sabaki these two groups. I think a move around here would be the most natural and simple. So if white blocks, black can push up. This will be an easy life. Maybe white will consider a stronger move, like pushing here. But I think either way, black can live fairly easily. So in this shape, even though black lived, white has a slightly stronger shape with this tiger's mouth. So maybe white would choose to play like this instead. We'll check to the other game since I think Chuck will probably spend a few minutes thinking about how to settle this group. So something similar. So white made a few exchanges and then come back to this move. Um, I think it's a little bit unwise for white to exchange the connection here with this turn, because there's a way for white to potentially fix this cut more efficiently. If white just peep here earlier and jump, then this cut is already gone, and there's no reason to connect here ever later. And in fact, even if black turns, there's no reason for white to connect because this stone will be light. And white's group is more or less alive, so there's no reason to save this stone. And the focus then will shift to, of course, this bottom side. So I think that's a small inaccuracy again. And the direction of play should be start from the peep. So if white plays here now and then black just play any move in the bottom, I think a simple tiger's mouth would be is definitely reasonable. And we can notice that all of a sudden black is stronger than white because white doesn't have two eyes yet. Black maybe can also consider a move, something like this, but um, I think having a solid eye shape with a tiger's mouth is the best. Or maybe black can first exchange first in the center. I keep saying this peep is important because later with white peep, I don't think black would necessarily connect. For example, right, like if white center group is already alive and then black has already escaped to the center, this peep is only maybe not even 20 points. In which case, black would definitely tenuki and play somewhere else. And peeping ones already destroyed black's eye shape, so this will be a good exchange for white that white shouldn't really save. The only other possibility is white is considering the cut. So notice ladder does work for white right now. I think it is possible given this situation now, because white already spent a move connecting here, so there's really no weakness in the shape, and I don't see any obvious ladder breaker for black. So basically, if white cuts, black will have to give up the stone some one way or another. I think jump would be the best way to sacrifice the stone. So black can either connect here or maybe Kasumi here or Tiger's Mouth here. White can definitely capture this stone, but white only gains 10, 12 points, and white ends in Gote. So this might not be a very efficient move for white to play right now. So black played here. I would still prefer white to peep here. So if black sacrifices stone right now, white can cut. And notice this shape is a little bit cleaner than the shape where black gets to sacrifice like this. White will get a little bit more points. So one thing to consider is white made a exchange here for black's center move, and which side will be more important right now? It seems like the center move is more valuable than the extension, than the monkey jump for white, because this zone in the center expands black side, which looks a little bit bigger than the right side right now, and it also pressures white's corner. White would really want to get Sente here and to do something about the center, the left side. For example, going to the corner big is really big. If black gets Sente, black will want to play this move to expand the left side. And now white has some weakness with a push cut, so white has to be careful here. If white spends another move, then black can get territory maybe on the 7th line or even more. So I think at this point, the game is slightly better for black because white spend a few moves here without profiting much. So white's efficiency is a little bit low, while black's wall here is very efficient. Looking at time, I think it's still fairly balanced. Al has 47 minutes, while Jay has 53 minutes. So white answered again. So notice black came out here, and then white came out in reverse. So in this type of shape, usually the side that responds will lose a little bit because this is a exchange from the outside and the inside. White's came out doesn't really do anything, while black's came out expands the middle and the left side. So all black needs to do is to make sure the bottom group is taken care of, and maybe what black can continue to pressure white. But the bottom line is black just needs to find a sente and to expand the left side right here. I think even if black tiger's mouth here, white doesn't have a good follow-up locally. If white tenukis, then black can keep jumping and attack this group. Oh, this is interesting. I have a sense that both players are really focusing on whether white gets sealed in or not, but I think the focus should be in the bottom because in this game, even if black seals white, this wall on the right hand side doesn't do anything. White already has a stone here to limit any potential for black to expand to the right side. So the focus should be really on the left side. And by making these exchanges, black will give white forcing moves. For example, if white just hane, black extend, can play something simple. Um, and now black has a cut, so maybe black will get gote now, and then white will get sente to do something on the left. And black's wall still doesn't have eyes, so later if white somehow cuts black from here, black's group is still not alive. And from all these exchanges, white already made close to 10 points in this area. So I don't think this is a wise decision for black. So on the other hand, if black chooses to fight from here, and then white which can jump out, then black is forcing white to make all the dame moves, and black can maybe live just in the bottom. And now white doesn't have eyes. So I think black is giving up some minor gains he made earlier. I'll toggle back to the other game for now. Okay, only 2 moves have been played since we last checked into this game, but I think these are 2 very important moves. So black was not happy with my simple 2-space extension and local life, and he wants to do something a little bit more, and he attached white side star zone. And of course, white would want to separate black because that's this is very white black doesn't have a lot of supporting stones. So then I think a big fight here will definitely erupt. There's no way around it right now. The question is whether black would choose to cross cut or double hunt in the bottom. A funny side story about the crosscut. Sungsoo has been a regular in the Evanston Go Club for a couple years now, and he currently hosts a monthly workshop where he just gives a mini lecture to the club members. And a few months ago, the lecture topic is a crosscut. So where he goes through all the common variation, whether when white should extend, when the Atari and extend works, or when white should just extend from the top when there's too much Aji for black. So I think Sungsoo should welcome this type of crosscut exchange because he has prepared a lot of material for his crosscut lecture and study a lot of shapes for this. Something interesting is that black seems to have spent a few more minutes after white honey here. I would think from a competition perspective, it's a little bit strange because black should have thought about a lot of white's responses after this attachment because this attachment is a strong move. The moves you should consider are obviously the extension or the hane. So black should have thought about this hane and considered how black would respond, how black should respond after that. So there's no reason to spend more time after white hane to think of a follow up because you should already know it when the first attachment was played. So after this shape, we can see white is definitely ahead in time now. There's almost a 10-minute difference. So this cross cut. I think so now black will definitely lose some points in the bottom, but maybe black will profit in the center. So the most basic shape is white extends, and now black's fourth stone on the left will be in a little bit of trouble. So black maybe blocks. So black can escape towards the center like this, no problem. But I think giving up the 2 stones in the bottom will be too valuable. So if If black chooses to play like this will be a good trade for white. White didn't really lose anything. In the other position where black lived in the bottom, black still have maybe 6 points. And now white has a very solid capture. White's alive. And the center white zones are still pretty much okay. So I think this extension, I would expect Sungsoo to play this extension. I wonder if Chuck was thinking about some sort of attachment in the center. For example, like this sort of fight. So the idea being maybe black doesn't sacrifice as much in the bottom. So in this shape, white only captures one stone, and then black can have more forcing move toward the center. Maybe black can start a different fight. But black also has a lot of shape weaknesses here. So um, I don't see a clear way for black to settle this. So white choose Atari ones. I think it will be similar. I think I would expect white to connect again. The ladder doesn't work for black right now, so white is okay. Are there other options for white? I don't really see white playing other moves because connecting here, black turns and white captures here. I think white is happy to capture these stones, and notice black has a weakness here, so it seems like it's hard for black to save everything. Spending another move here will be way too slow, and that will give white a sentient move to attack, and more initiative to attack the center. For example, blocking here. So it could be that black will have to Tenuki locally, and then try to do something in the center. But because black has some liberty shortage, I don't think black can fight effectively here. Maybe Sungsoo is thinking about pushing. Yeah, so the ladder works for white right now, so maybe there's a possibility of this push. I wonder if this is what he learned from his crosscut lecture. But this is definitely a lot more complicated than white could have gotten. I would still think white is better off just connecting here. Play the simple move. Okay, so I think we'll just switch to the other game since this game is still going a little bit slow. But I think after this shape, we'll have a clear sense of which side is leading. And if people in chat have any comments, please let us know, and maybe just tell us who you're supporting here. So the other game that is not streamed is a game between Paige and Eric. Eric has been undefeated, but Paige definitely wants to win this game because Paige, I think, has 2 wins so far. So if she wins, she is able to get second place potentially. The tournament is sponsored by the Evanston Go Club and Chuck himself. The first place prize will get a trophy, includes a trophy and $150. Second place player will get $100 cash prize. So there's definitely still a lot at stake here for the 4 players who might get second place. Okay, so a few things have happened. So it seemed like white is just not happy with living locally. So white chose a cut, and then now black got a sente. Maybe white made the tiger smile exchange here. So in any case, neither side is completely alive in the bottom, and now a center fight has erupted. I'm not super sure about the purpose of this attachment? Maybe black just really wants some sort of aji here later. There's wedge or this wedge or this wedge. Oh, thank you, Pierce. I'm doing my best in the commentary, trying to make it fun. Um, Janice and Michael, I think, set the bar really high. I think they're really entertaining and very sharp. So I'm trying to match them. Someone asked, how are ties being decided? So this is a round robin tournament. So the first tiebreaker is obviously how many games you have won. And after that, if you have the same number of wins, they have decided to do a playoff. So if two people end up with a 3-2 record, they will play a quick playoff this afternoon. And I believe that game will also be streamed. So we will report immediately if playoff games rounds are needed, and we'll let all the viewers know. And definitely stay tuned until the end because I'm streaming from the basement of the tournament venue, which is Mark's house. So as soon as the players are done, they will just come downstairs and we'll give them a quick little interview. They'll tell us what they thought about their games and their tournament performances. Okay, so now this fight still continue in the center. White needs to spend a move in the bottom now because the group is not completely alive yet, and now white is completely sealed off. So maybe white can try another exchange like this, but I don't know if this is necessarily a good exchange. But in the base case, I think white would just maybe jump here or Hane. But probably just jump is fine. So white has definitely more than living shape in the center. This is a nice box shape. Someone asked for a 5-way tie for second. Yes. So if 5 people end up with a 2-3 record, they will all be tied for second. And in that case, they will have 3 rounds of tiebreakers, single elimination. Unfortunately, I think one player will just have a bye in the first round. And unlike the main tournament, the playoff rounds will not be AGA rated because it will be a lightning round of 15 minutes with 5-second Fisher time. I hope that answers your question. So if we assume white fixes here, I think based on what they're feeling right now, I think they will really want to go for a center fight. So black will jump. And now white has 2 zones here, and white's definitely clearly weaker. So white has more of a liability in the center, which might affect how white will kind of really reduce the left side. For example, if white just play normal move to settle the middle group, black has a pretty natural way to secure the left side territory on the 6th line. So this should be a decent for black. And black can play more aggressively here too, actually. So black can, for example, jump. There's no way for white to connect back to the top with one move. So even if white plays another move in the center, black can try to separate the 2 groups and continue to profit. So I think white will have to be very smart about how he deals with the center 2 stones. This will be I think the first big challenge for Al this game. And looking at the time here, Al has 39 minutes while Jay has 49. So Jay has a slight edge. I've been telling all the players that time is really like in colloquially we say time is money, but in Go like time is points too. If you're in Byoyomi by move 150, like you're most likely gonna lose a sum in the end game or the second half, late mid game. I think if you can save like 10-15 minutes of main time before going to Byoyomi for end game, that will serve you really well in tournament games. Because mid to late game mistakes tend to be a lot more fatal and important than early to mid game mistakes. If you lose 5 points in the opening, that's considered a blunder. But in the end game, you can easily lose 5 points in the shape or one bad time suji. So in tournament games, I encourage everyone to not spend too much time in the opening, and then start to think about plan for to play to the end game. So for example, so now maybe Jay's thinking about the center fight, or it's Al's turn, but Jay's planning about the center fight. But a way to, I guess, plan for the end game is to really see how each shade will play out. For example, right now, white already has a stone here. So actually, white can already count how many points black has in this corner. So normally you can count it this way. So black has about 12 to 13 points. So if you knowing that, whenever you do positional judgment, you want to count, you already know this corner has 13 points or 12 points. You don't have to count again. And another thing, a strategy is you can think about how you want to play the endgame. For example, here, the best endgame that white can do is push, block, make all these exchanges, and then play the tiger's mouth. So if you run through these moves in your head, when you're under Biomi, under time pressure, it's finally your turn, your sentient to play endgame. You can go through a string of your sentient endgames first without missing a beat because you have thought about what you're going to do. And a lot of times in the mid game, you're just waiting for your opponent to play, but you kind of have an idea of what you want to do. Or if the position is very uncertain, like there's just too many things. There are only so many moves you can read in the center. So after reading through like 5 positions, 10 positions, maybe 20, on your opponent's time, I'm referring to, you might as well think about how you want to set out the corner, how big the side is. So now would be a good time for black, for Jay to really think about to do a positional judgment. So assuming white lives here, how much does black need in the center to have a chance in this game, or how much can black allow white to gain on the right side, or how should black deal with the end game in the bottom? Should black extend here, for example? Should black hane? Should black play here first or bump? These are all important questions that black should think about before the end. If you try to think about endgame as if every shape is new, you will not have enough time. So I think this is really one way to go about it. Yeah, someone asked who's black, who's white. So white is Tang, 4-dan from Michigan. Black is Jeremiah Donley, 5-dan from Ohio. So this is a Midwest Classic Invitational hosted in Evanston. And if you look to the right-hand side of the board, you do see the player names and rank, and you also see their clock. If you squint a little bit, I think you can see how much time they have left. Okay, with that, I think we'll tune back to the other board. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay, seems like there's definitely some action. So white did choose to play the more aggressive move, which is this push earlier. I'm sorry that the tool, replay tool, is not available, so I can't really rewind the game, if that makes sense. So I can only tell the audience where people or where the players have played, but not to show the original position. So black had liberty shortage with this group, so it seems like black can't really do much here. Ideally, black will want to start a capturing race with the bottom group, but black also owes a move here. So I think this makes the position pretty difficult for black. It's also definitely chaotic too. For example, at this shape, maybe white will try to escape this zone, but black can cut here. It could be in a situation where black sacrifices the bottom and then somehow captures the middle 3 stones. I think this will be one possibility. Someone asked what software tool is used for the review. So I don't know the name of this tool yet, but it's built by our very own Jeremiah Donley, who is playing in board 2 right now. Basically, this is a camera capture of the board, and Jay built a tool that basically adds a grid to the camera, and that allows the commentators to place stones. If you have seen Baduk TV streams from Korea, they have a similar setup with just a few more functions like being able to rewind games and undo. But this is a tool that Jay built very specifically for this event, so I think it's really cool. And I think given a little bit more time, it will be definitely very useful for other tournaments in the U.S. The benefit of this tool is that we don't need game recorders on site or remotely to be able to stream games. I think the only better alternative that I know of is if you have an AI board, but those AI boards are cost $900, so it's definitely not accessible on a large scale. And for the AI board, for those who don't know, is it really cool? It's from China. It has built-in AI analysis and internet connectivity. So if you play on the AI board, there's a way for you to just simultaneously stream that game to OGS. And if a tournament organizer wants to stream the tournament, they can play on the AI board, have the game replay on OGS, and then the stream can set up to capture the OGS board, and the commentators can easily manipulate the OGS board. So there's complicated variation here if black tries to save this group. But if black doesn't see a way to out and then just captures, I think white will also capture, or maybe white will connect here. I think white will most likely capture here. And this bottom left corner, I think is too big. This would not be an acceptable result for black. So I think Chuck will be thinking about some sort of push, maybe Atari. So black doesn't have too many liberties, but black may have some sentient moves here. If white doesn't have time to fix the center cut, otherwise black will win this capturing race. So maybe white will extend and then force a trade. Yeah, Mark just said, yes, the Evanston Go Club is one of the few Go clubs in the country with an AI board. Every Wednesday in the Evanston Starbucks, the AI board is there, and a lot of people play on the AI board, and then you can have instant AI review afterwards. Besides that, there are also other functions like I think you can connect to Fox and you can connect to OGS, and there are a lot of built-in pro game databases and just problem sets you can work on. Looking at time again, black has 30 minutes while white has 44. I think Chuck kind of dug himself into a hole here because this is not a position he feels super comfortable in. Even if black somehow survived this situation without a lot of damage, I think the second half will be a little bit difficult for black because I don't think Chuck is a player who really thrives in Byoyomi. There are those who like Chochi-kun, like some of the other players, like Mei Chodrun from China, who were very famous for not making mistakes in Byoyomi. But I think for most amateur players, that's not super realistic. So we're better off just to save a little bit of time in the end. So Atari, the same. I think eventually black will need to push here. So I think I'll have to assume black will push here and then see if there's a better shape for white. If not, then the trade is almost inevitable at this point. Actually, it's better for black to maybe not make that exchange. and just potentially better. So let's just play a simple one for now. So black probably stabilize if black can capture the center. I think because black got a extension here, white suffer a loss in the corner territory too. And the three zones, I think each side capturing three more or less cancel out. Neither side has a lot of center influence, but white's left side is also damaged. So ideally, white really wouldn't want black to capture the three zones. If this happens like this, I think maybe that means white's earlier moves around here will be was an overplay. White's better off just connecting. Someone said Bioyomi seems to be the bane of most DDK players I've seen on streams. Oh well, I would say not just DDK players. I in tournaments, I have tried various strategies where I purposely just speed run the first 100 moves and maybe not play the optimal opening. But I know my opponent will make mistakes in endgame, so I just wait for my chances then. So I think I was about a Komi behind going to endgame, and in 3 moves I reversed the game. Because he's down on time, and I've made a couple very beneficial exchanges. And another 5 moves, I'm suddenly up 10 points. So this is how fast the game can swing if you're just kind of panicking in the end. And another thing I wrote about, so I'm also a regular contributor to the AGA Journal. I used to write a lot of commentaries. One observation I made was when I play against players a little bit weaker, maybe even like 4 or 5 down players, I might have a opening advantage, like 5 to 10 points. But if we play to the very end, I might be 10 points ahead by move 150, but by move 300, I'm usually 25, 30 points ahead. So that last 150 moves is really where most points are won, gained, and lost. So it's harder for most players to really practice that because I think it's easier to study the opening, the joseki, but games I really won and lost in the end. So I encourage players to definitely pay close attention to the little details as the game progresses. Otherwise, you could be in a situation where you feel like you're very well ahead going to endgame. You're 10 points ahead. You killed a group, and then after a lot of complicated exchanges in the endgame, you suddenly found yourself, huh? I'm counting again, but why am I now 3 points behind? What happened to my lead? And it's not obvious. Oftentimes, um, not obvious where points I gained and lost. So you just have to really train yourself to be sharp and sense those subtle differences, how to maximize your points in every little shape. So the other game I just checked briefly. It's also going a little slow. Maybe I'll take the time to tell people a little bit about the Go scene in the Midwest. I think in the past few years, especially after the pandemic, Go has definitely taken off around here. We have a lot of big tournaments now in Ohio, and we have actually the biggest tournament in the country last year, beside the Go Congress, was right here in Evanston. The Chicago Rapid in November drew 122 players. It eclipsed any tournament on the East and West Coast, the New York or even the California tournaments. We have players driving all the way from Kansas City or even Mississippi to come to the Chicago tournament. And right now, we're planning for the next Chicago Open taking place over Memorial Day weekend, right here down the street in Evanston. And we're very blessed with our special guest, world champion Kim Ji-suk Naindan, will actually be presenting a series of special lectures at the tournament. So we really look forward to that, and we encourage a lot of audience to check out our tournament. So the registration information can be found in Baduk Club, and there's an article about it in Baduk News. The e-journal should start. They should be included in the e-journal very soon as well. And this tournament, the Chicago Open, is a 2-day tournament. Will be 6 rounds over 2 days. In contrast to our November tournament called the Chicago Rapid, which is only 1 round. We did have 8 rounds last year in the Chicago Open, but we cut it to 6 rounds this year because we want to make room for special lectures by Kim Ji-suk Nainan. So I'll check back to the other board too. Thank you. Gang of Plano said I'll be there. I'll see you here. Oh, seems like there's an update. So I think we have official champion here. Eric has beaten Paige in the last round, so we have our undefeated player. Would you like to join us for a moment?
Sure, I can join you.
So this is kind of like our winner report. It happened before the other games are finished, but those games are still going. So I think we can just give Eric a few words. Well, congratulations, Eric.
Thank you.
It's been a long 3 days.
Yes,
long
very long.
5 rounds. And I'm sure it was well fought too, Paige. We'll let you get on the stream. You can say hi. This is Paige, who just finished her last round. So this is a game that was not streamed. Unfortunately, we only had capacity to stream 2 of the 3 rounds. So this is the last game between Eric and Paige.
I'll send you the STF later.
Yeah, sounds good. So I think we'll try to share the game later once the players get a chance to record.
Of course, you would want to share it. I made a funny blunder at the ending.
So if people couldn't hear, Paige apparently made a funny blunder.
It was.
So how was it? We'll just give Eric the first word.
I tried to trick her in an opening Joseki, and then she ran away from the trick, which was a small loss, but not a big loss. And then later on, she made a bigger loss. Like, she tried to surround me, but she couldn't, and then ended up getting destroyed on the outside.
Yeah.
So did both of you just play fast? It sounds like you already played too.
Well, Paige always plays fast, and as long as I was in my opening prep, I was able to play fast. And then I knew I needed to play faster than normal to keep some time on my clock because I wouldn't be able to think during her time.
So we hear the champion talk right here. It's a strategy, time management. So what do you think of the game? What was your strategy coming in?
Well, so Eric and I actually practice against each other a lot. We've played a lot of games. Though I think Eric's a completely different player from when we practice versus how we play.
He saved the best for tournament, huh?
Yeah, he always does. So when I think about it, when we play our practice games, I usually get destroyed in the opening, and then it's a really hard middle game. And then again, in our practice games, I've learned that if I can stabilize the opening, then I can have a decent middle game. But in tournaments, that's not the case. Completely different. He's really good in the opening and really good in the mid game in tournaments.
So what type of tournament prep did you do going in?
Just normal practicing stuff.
Did you think about like black and white opening? What are you going to do first 20 moves?
No. Although I did, like, for each of my opponents, because it's a round robin, we knew our opponents beforehand. Like, the night before, I would study for the opponents I knew I was facing and plan a little bit of opening ideas.
So since players here are more or less familiar with each other, I think more possible to do prep against a specific opponents. Like, for example, Cheuk doesn't like complicated fighting games, so maybe you can plan a complicated Joseki for that.
Yeah, and Paige likes to do the same opening all the time, so I was able to go pretty deep.
And I was gonna try to avoid the cross-cut Joseki thing. I was gonna try to avoid that if you went for it. I had a whole thing planned out, but then you didn't do it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how was your tournament prep?
The only one I really prepped for was Eric. And then I didn't really prep for the rest. I just wanted to play my best. I felt a little sad about the Sungsoo game because, resigning when you're ahead is unfortunate. But I did go into my next game confidently after that against Jay, though I messed up in that Joseki too. But I ended up coming back in that game. Yeah. So I actually felt pretty good going into all my games. I think I'm overall happy about the way that my play was with the tournament, pretty much.
Yeah, that's good. So actually, you're still in position to tie for second.
Oh,
if I'm correct.
Yes, there can be a 5-way tie for second.
So yeah, depending on how the other two games pan out, there could be a 5-way tie for second. So
I just wanted the trophy.
just want a trophy.
I like the memories. I don't really care for the cash prize. I just wanted the trophy. But he
I
already
got
got
the
the
trophy.
trophy, so
Well, the Chicago Open will have an even bigger one.
okay. So I gotta win that one.
You gotta win that one.
Yeah, I like trophies. They're nice. I've got 3 now.
So I guess you can take a quick break or maybe a longer break. There could be after the rounds for you too.
Not for me.
Not for Eric. Eric can chill, or maybe if you just want to hang on the stream.
Maybe.
But Paige could have more rounds coming up.
Yeah, I'd like to play Sungsoo again. So
You
So you need to
Sungsoo,
hope.
yeah.
I mean, you need them to
you
both
gotta hope for
lose.
the
You need them to
tie.
both lose.
Yeah. And I think Jay was winning. I didn't look at his board carefully, but
I didn't.
There is a question from chat. If there's a pro qual this year, are both of you interested in going?
Yeah, I
Yes.
plan to go.
I also plan to go.
So I've heard Jay also plans to go. So actually, this tournament is almost like a warm up for the pro qual as well. There are many players. So we're just told we have to be a little bit quieter because they can hear us upstairs. So we don't want to disrupt the games that are currently going on. So I'll just be a little quieter. If people have trouble hearing us, just let us know and we can adjust.
Yeah, I've already got all my budgets set aside for the pro qual.
So the pro qual will take place in June
so.
in Montreal. So for the viewers here, you know at least 3 of the players. The 2 right here and
Well,
Jay, who's playing upstairs. Are there more that you know of?
I know of a lot of people who are planning to go, but I don't know if they're all going, or I
Uh,
don't even know if all of us
is
are
it
going.
an invitational?
Yeah, it's invitational like usual.
Mhm.
So like we haven't. No, I don't think anybody's gotten like official invitations yet.
Okay, so I guess there are still 3 more months, so there's time to make arrangements.
I'm also gonna get my passport.
Ah, you do need your passport.
Yeah, I've never been out of the country before, so
It could take a month or 2, so
yeah,
be sure
yeah.
to start the process early. Were you able to check out the other 2 games?
I
haven't looked
didn't
at them yet.
get to.
I was gonna quick record and review my game a little bit, and then hop on and look at the stream how it's going.
All right, so with that, I think you can let you guys go, record your games, grab a quick snack. Thank you both.
Thank you.
We might have all the winners and the participants come back at the end of the tournament. Also, while we're chatting about with the winner, I think something exciting happened here. There's a big trade that I was thinking about. I think Cheuk has to be can let out sigh of relief in this shape. So black did survive and capture 3 stones. So now black is very much safe and secure in the center. White got a little bit of territory in the bottom, but I have to think it's not amazing for white. Maybe white is still okay in the position, but it seemed like white could have gotten more because white doesn't have a chance to attack the left side group now. And once the middle is strong, it seems like white's top left group is also become relatively weaker, and the left side is damaged. Someone very sharp. Black did not get the second line descent. Azalea. That's very true. So I don't know the exact sequence because we were paying attention to the game. It seemed like black could have descended here in Sente before the cut. If black could make that exchange, I think that would definitely be a game changer. So I'll just do a quick count here. White is 15, 20, 25, 35, 40 plus top left, 45 maybe with the right side. And black, we counted black as 40 earlier, and then with another 8 in the middle, 48, and then some potential. So I think black is doing fine now. It's still a relatively close game, but black is definitely not behind. Okay, I will tune into the other game. Oh, someone in the chat reminded me that there's some danger coming up in the other game. So there's some big fight. White profited a lot from sealing this side. And now black focus attack in the bottom. So the question now is whether white can live. It could be an issue for white. There's no easy way for white to live here because black can bump here in Sente, so white has a gote eye in the middle. In the bottom, there's not enough space for another eye. Black doesn't even have to fight. Black doesn't even have to fight disco. Black can just play here, and then wedge. So this is a fake eye, and then white only has one eye. So I will be a little bit worried as white here. So of course white can bump here and then play this move, but that doesn't change the fact that there's this side is still not secure. If there's somehow a ko here, white does have ko threat in the center, but I don't see a way for white to force that ko right now. Maybe white was a little bit overzealous with the seal here, or with these moves. White was maybe probably should have just fixed the bottom and stabilized the group. And it seemed like white connected here at some point and allowed black to turn. I think in the reverse, maybe white should have blocked here. That would give white more eye shape. Yeah, maybe this will be the game if Al can find a way to settle this group. So white black shape is pretty strong. There's no weakness here. I don't think it's realistic to force some sort of capturing race because black is almost alive locally. Black is alive locally, and black has more liberties than white. But maybe Jay could make some mistakes, so we'll have to see for that one. If white wants to make a capturing race, I think this move will be a must. And then I think black can actually wedge here. This will be the better move. So white has an eye, but black can take away this eye. So maybe in this shape, black is not alive locally, but I still struggle to see how white has enough liberties. It could be more complicated, so we'll have to see. Terms of liberty, 1, 2, 3. Seven. It doesn't seem like white has enough liberties. But maybe there's a more clever way to expand white's liberty that I'm not seeing right now. So usually I think this move will maximize white's liberty. But actually black can wedge here. Maybe connect. I guess it doesn't matter that much. So basically this eye and this eye will be me eye. And the purpose of the wedge is to take away some of white's liberties. Looking at time here, Jay has 41 minutes while Al has 21 minutes. At this point, I think it's clear that white doesn't have enough eye shape to live locally. So the only chance for white is to maybe force a capturing race with this black group. I doubt this is possible, but if there's some sort of capturing race, maybe what white needs to think about now is, let's say this group dies. Is there any way for white to win? It looks very, very big. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 15. There's almost 20 stones here. So if you include the empty spaces, that's probably 60 plus points. But white did already get a seal here. So if black has to fill in a lot of points and capture 60 points, if there's a ko, for example, and white captures these, actually, I'm pretty sure white will be ahead if white can capture these two and then sacrifice the bottom left. So in this case, in games like this where black you're seemingly capturing your opponent, you still can't relax too early, because even if you captured that a big group, that doesn't necessarily mean you have won. So you still have to be careful and count and evaluate the position properly. So every little liberty matters. If you give your opponent an extra 2 liberties in the capturing race, even if you still end up killing them, that could cost you several points. Okay, so I'll play it here. I don't know if he's thinking about the possibility of a capturing race or complicating the game. If he's thinking about that possibility, I don't think black should have filled this liberty. But I was building on the assumption that white can kill black here locally. But it seemed like if white pushes here and black bumps, black might be just alive locally. And that would definitely dash any hope of a capturing race. Yeah, so it seems like white is just dead. Well, maybe white connects and black can clamp here. And the black group is alive, so there's no really nothing to hope for here. Okay, so maybe white is trying to save the last hope for to attack the outside. So there's a push cut Aji here. So maybe white can try to use that. And maybe somehow run to the center, attack the center. But the problem is white doesn't have time to cut here in Sente. So if white, let's say Hanan here, black can actually ladder. It would be ideal if white can make this exchange first and then cut. Now the middle shape could be a little bit complicated, especially because white does have a lot of liberties in the bottom. So white will have a chance in this type of setup. But white doesn't have a time to make the cutting exchange because black corner is more or less alive. So if when white cuts here, maybe black will maybe black can potentially Tanuki. But still, with this cut, I think this is definitely complicating the game because white has co-threats. If white cuts and black jumps, then white can throw in here. And then the corner is not completely alive. And we know that if your big dragon can force a co-summer, that's usually good news because there's a lot of local threat. The connecting here is not necessarily a good move. But because first of all, black can't cut here because if black cuts here, white can start a code in the first line. So there's no it's not urgent to make this exchange, and that might maybe lose a ko threat for white. For example, if white fight this ko. And the other thing is, it's possible that maybe white later will throw in here and then Atari. So and then this connection will become sente. This could potentially be beneficial in some sort of fight against the left. So there's no reason to make this Atari exchange so early. I think in this type of big fight, it's really important to think about every little exchange, because if you get into a ko and you're down one ko threat and your group dies, it could be because you made a random Atari earlier for no reason. So we really want to avoid that situation. So definitely be rigorous in our thinking and think about, pay attention to every little detail. For example, this last Atari. And especially if you're behind, if you skip some exchanges, that could also force your opponent to make mistakes, right? If, let's say 20 moves later, Jay got tired and then he just Atari here because he thought the group has no liberty, and all of a sudden white has a ko. This type of thing happens all the time. So I think in a tournament game especially, you have to think about where your opponent might make a mistake. If you force out all the exchanges where even a 30k can play the right move, then you're really not setting yourself up for success. So now white make this cut. I think extension will probably be the move, and they extend again. I think this is also possible. And then the push cut. So now thinking back, funny enough, white made this Atari a few dozen moves ago, and black captured here. So thinking about it now, if this capture was at the extension, black would have no weaknesses here. And there will be no ko. If there's no ko, then white's cut here will be pretty useless. There isn't much for white to gain. And I think the game will be over. So because there's a potential ko now, white's group will not die cleanly. At least white can put up a fight now. And notice white already profit on the right side. So black actually needs to kill. If this group survives or even finds a ko, black is not doing well in this game. So I think this game could be really exciting. I just hope Al has enough time to read out some of the interesting sequences here, and to at least spot this ko. If white can start this ko, I think this will create a lot of headache for black. So assuming this exchange is made, black blocks, white push. There's a cut. So if black kills the center, white extends. So this is already a dead shape. If white escapes here, it seems like white will not die already. This will be fine. White has forced a ko. White still doesn't have a ton of liberties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll be a ko, but maybe white doesn't have. White might be able to find threats outside. Yeah, this will be some sort of two-step ko. But white has ko threats here, and it will take black 2 moves to capture. So white can play here, here, and then maybe another move. So all of a sudden, even if the white group dies, it's not necessarily game over. I wish I can play more moves out so people can see exactly what's happening. But basically, there could be a situation where white push cuts here and then lives on the left side, and then black captures the bottom left group, but white gets a ko and then can play two moves in a row elsewhere. And we counted, white has, maybe this group is worth close to about 60 points. And capturing that doesn't necessarily mean black has the game in the bag, because white still has easily 40 points on the right side. And white can have a little bit on the left, a little bit on the top, especially white kills the top right. It is pretty hard to win a game, even if you capture a 60-point group. Usually your opponent can put up a fight. Okay, I think the other game is also accelerating, so I'll switch back to board 1. Interesting. So black made a couple moves on the left, but white has taken the corner. And it is currently white's turn. It's most natural for white to descend here and just secure the corner. And now, interestingly enough, it's black's turn to make a moyo in the center. Okay, so maybe we can do a quick count. If white descends here, there's probably 5 points in the top left, 8 points top right, 35 in the bottom left. So 35, 13, 35, 13, 48, maybe a little bit on the right. So almost 50 points. Black has about 12, bottom right, another 10 in the middle, 22. So black probably needs 35 points from the top to the center. The top already has about 15, like up to the third line. It's 15 or 16, which means black needs another 20, 25. Of course, white does have a little bit of potential on the left and the bottom. But white's group on the right is weak after white took the corner. So if, for example, if black can capture these 2 white stones, black will be easily ahead in territory. So maybe that's what Sungsoo is thinking about. After descending here, if black spends another move, how much can white allow black to make in the center? I think the approach here when thinking about how to reduce or enclose the center, you should think about at what expense is the center territory obtained from. So if black makes a lot of exchanges here, it seems like maybe black can maximize his territory. His territory in the center, but also white gain a move on the right side. So maybe white can gain another move over here. And all of a sudden, maybe black gain 30 in the middle, but white gain 10 on the 5 on the right and 10 on the left. So you have to subtract that gain from black's gain the center. So the others show if white rushes a little bit and just invades the center, maybe white can destroy 20 points. Okay, but if black captured these 2 points, these 2 stones, that's almost 20 points back. And white has to spend a few dame moves to connect back the reduction stone. So this is the risk of reducing your opponent's moyo. You seems like you're reducing a lot of points in one move, but you'll have to spend a lot of moves later to save your reduction stone, and your opponent will be able to profit elsewhere. So Sungsoo here jumped here. I think is a little bit more proactive, but it does leave a weakness in the corner. So if black just plays here, then obviously this will be a good exchange for white. So maybe if black respond, if black respond, white can tenuki and play somewhere to reduce the center. Okay, so black play another strong move and to capture the corner. I do believe this is the correct response. Capturing this stone is sente, or not sente. This move is a 12-point endgame if you just count the corner. So it's a decent move. And now black has a chance to capture the center 4 stones. So this capture is a 20-point move right now. because of this potential, and it also takes away white's eye shape. And now this center, this peep stone is perfectly placed. If white tries to run to the center, it does reduce black's potential, but notice black can just shift the territory from the center to the corner. After a few moves, the black captures this stone, compared to the situation where white got the descent. This is at easily a 20 point swing. So black just shift 20 points from the center to the corner. And notice white shape is not completely alive yet. And maybe in addition to 20 points in the corner, black can gain another several points from harassing white's side group. So I think it's very important in this type of shape to be flexible in where our territory might end up. It's usually not gonna be where you start from. So black started from the center, but it very easily could just be transferred to the corner or the side. So, okay, I think maybe something happened the other game too, so I'll switch to board 2. Okay, so it's Al's turn to play right now. I really wish Al made the throw-in exchange. Now there could be a situation where black doesn't respond to that right now. Like if white throws in, Atari, connect, throw in, if black Tanuki. I don't think black will actually Tanuki, but there's no reason to wait for this exchange. Because earlier white's trying to live. When white just need to find one co-threat and to capture the co-back, black can connect. And then white can do everything else. So this guarantees that this corner group is not alive. You don't want to make all the investment only for your opponent to be able to back out later. So this cut, if the center's cut zones and the left side zone die, is definitely bad exchange for white. So white doesn't want to make that unless white can make sure the corner can be forced into a capturing race. But in any case, I think white has found a chance. So there's no clean kill here. I think Jay would really wish his capture zone was at the descent. So now this connection is obvious. White might push again, so black will extend and then start this co. White just has so many co-threats in the middle. I don't think black can win this co. And this push is a sente move. Otherwise, white can cut here. And this will be some sort of ladder shape. Then this will be Atari and then a net. So pushing again is definitely a sente move. And from the peanut gallery in the back, I think they're saying Jay has the advantage.
No, Jay's throwing.
Jay, they're thinking Jay is throwing as well. Yeah, there's a lot of Aji.
Five-way tie.
So so it depends on Cheuk's game, and I think Cheuk is doing pretty well. If you ask me right now, I would prefer Cheuk in that position, and I'll prefer Al in this position. Wow, it'll be exciting. It'll be a long day.
If it's Cheuk and Al, it's a 5-way tie.
Yeah.
For second.
Oh my God. I can see Jay doing that on purpose.
I mean, did he make any obvious mistake? Now that you've seen the game,
I have no idea.
I don't think
That was just what Eric was saying.
I think he's okay. Here's the co. I think this co is white's lifeline, and it might be the co that completely destroys black's hope and aspirations this game. Okay. Oh.
Sorry. There's installation.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So white has close to infinite co-threats in the middle. A lot of the cut, the tari, this hane, these are all potential co-threats, and white also has a co-threat throw in and a throw in here and a tari. So there's just no way for black to compete against that. I think black's problem is now the corner is not alive. There's nowhere to even back into. So if black connects here, white can just push again. And now this is a direct ko. Maybe white can even push in forward. Black doesn't have any suitable co-threats and this whole board because white is so strong. And the value of this ko killing the corner is just so large. Black can't really recover from this. So it is Al's turn. So I think if Al can manage this ko well, he's definitely in a good position. So not only is he about to live here, he might also capture the entire corner. So black's like 80-point side now become white's 30 points. This is more than 100-point swing. And it's hard for black to find any sort of compensation. It's hard for black to find a co-threat worth more than 20 points. And now after black connected, actually, if black captures a ko again, white can just connect. So there's no local ko anymore. Black's hope now is actually to force a capturing race against either group. But black only has 4 liberties. If you include a ko, that's only 5. White's group clearly has more than 5. And the left side group has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in either case, white will have the upper hand in this ko. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, black cannot hane. If black hane here, white can escape this stone. This could be an issue.
He's definitely has to definitely race against that group.
So Eric pointed out there's no hope of racing against the left side group. So black hane here, the object here is really bad. So now if white hane here, white can get some forcing move because this move is sente and the extension is sente as well. So white hane here, this will be very hard for black to deal with. And there are also ways to extend the liberties on the left. So though if black can make the first line hane, this extend the liberty by 1. I think the cut will serves a similar purpose. Black probably just has to Atari here. And then let's see what happens. What's happening in the bottom capturing race. So since black hane there, white has to connect to force to maximize liberty. And then I think throw in, connect. Put here, connect, capture, connect.
That black one.
So in this case, if white just plays a connection, black can actually win the capturing race. But white can find co-threats and capture back. Okay, so he did play the correct move. I think Jay played the wrong capture. So he had to. Ooh. So I think they're not aware that this throw in is vital. So after this throw in, black's guaranteed a ko in the corner. But if white just connects, I don't think this ko will be several steps because white has so many more liberties.
There's another chance.
Does connecting here work or just fill? Oh, well, Jay has another chance.
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah. So yeah, the correct way will be throw in, and connect. This will be the best sequence. And the game will revolve around this call.
Probably white should fill on the push on the first line.
And then black capture. Well, I think black will fill.
Push again.
Then black captures. And then white connects. And then black captures. So it's a favorable white for a call for white.
Yeah. That's so stressful.
But I think it would still be important for white to make the Hane exchange earlier. So if white can make these exchange, they'll definitely help white. For example, this will maybe create more co-threat, but even if these won't be co-threats, these exchanges are most likely good for white, because then black center group is separated, and the four white stones can be saved in Sente. So this will be very valuable. So it is Jay's time to play. So hopefully he will spot the throw in. Otherwise, if Al just connects, I don't think Jay will have a shot at this in this game. Yeah, this will be something like a two-step call. So given the disparity in co-threat, black will have no chance. If black doesn't block here, I think this will become... This will just be a double call. I think my sequence is off because of the stones, but the bottom line is black has to throw in. Oh, the game is definitely accelerating. This could be it. And funny enough, so Al is doing well in this game, and if Cheuk wins the other game, and Al wins, which he currently is winning, we're set up for a 5-way tie for second. Where Eric is undefeated, so he won with a 5-0 record, but the other 5 players all have a 2-3 record. So this will set up for a very exciting 3-round overtime match. Kind of like a triple overtime.
And the Columbus players won't get home until 2 in the morning.
What's Al's time? So Al has about 8 minutes, and Jay has 39 minutes. So if I have to say, that will probably be the biggest variable in this game. You do get 15 minutes every move, so it's not like 15 seconds each move. So it's not like even if your main tank runs low, there's still ways to keep playing. But it's not so much that the time itself is not enough, but it's easy to panic when your time is low and make random moves or low-level mistakes. So I think a lot of it's about the mindset. And I'm not sure how familiar Al is with fast games or overtime tournament games. So with that, I'll switch back to the other game because Jay has ample time to think about this life and death. I hope he finds a first line throw in. Otherwise, I think he will have to concede to losing the Al. Looks like this game between Cheuk and Sungsoo is gearing up towards the second half. So on the top left, black captured the cornerstone and also cut off the center 4. And then while white successfully connected back on the left side. And then white took sente to settle the bottom right. So white made a sente attachment and then now protects the left side with this move. So the sequence will be a sente attach, like tiger smile, extend, extend, and then white blocked, and then black made the sente Hane connect exchange. So it is black's turn. Black has 16 minutes while white has 17 minutes. They're very evenly matched in time right now. And I think it's gearing towards to be a close game. Black has some sente influence or Moyo influence on the top. But white got sente to profit on the right and bottom. And white got a little points on the left. Although I'm not sure about the bad Aji here. So there is a tiger smile cross-cut Aji. If white Atari is here, black and Atari here. White's territory might be cut in half. This will be really bad for white. So maybe white can only Atari on this side and then black can Atari here. So this will be a big game for black. Not devastating for white, but a big game for black for sure. So maybe when we're counting territory for white on this side, we have to consider the cross-cut possibility. So for the sake of counting, I think we have to think of picture it like this. So white has, we do a quick count, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 22.
Why couldn't play the card?
White has 60 something.
Do you think white would ever play the card?
30, 40, 50.
No.
So black still needs a little bit to make a little bit of points in the center.
You're crazy though.
Yeah, so if white tries to play the code, this is a possibility. We're looking at code threats now. White has code threats in the middle, but does black have code threats in the top right? Surprisingly, there are no code threats in the top right. But the code is light for black, so black can just find a good time to start this code when black has favorable code threats. Interestingly, earlier black captured here, and then follow up with the center cut. I feel like the center cut is a little bit slow because if you spend a move to capture 8 stones, that's only 4 points because you already captured 4, or like 8 points at most. This is an 8-point move if you capture the center, and this is still relatively early. So I think black shouldn't really shouldn't pay too much attention to just capturing 4 stones. And also black chose to capture here instead of descend. So of course, if black can get the tiger's mouth, this will be more favorable. This will be the ideal result. But if once black cut the center stone, that also means white's Atari here become more valuable. So it's possible white can make a sente Atari later. So in that case, black is better off to just play the descent.
I think it's also good to mention that because some players might be wondering, well, that cut to cut off the 4 stones, they might think, well, aren't they getting stronger in the center as well? So it's good to mention, even if white tries to come out there, that what black can just respond with the one next to it. Yep, which would still seal white in and not really enter black's territory or black's center.
More than 7 kills them.
Yeah,
It's hard for white to save these 4 stones. So I think for the time being, we can treat these 4 as dead.
yeah.
There's a comment from Dalen. White didn't actually respond to that, and he followed up with a cut. I think extend could have been better. Oh, I see. So instead of cutting, maybe black could have bumped. I think the bottom line is killing these 4, whether it's here or capture. It's probably not the focus of this game. So the sequence was white jump and then black capture. White played here, and then black spend a move to capture the 4 stones. But it seems like black will be better off expanding the center or attacking the left side. So now after this tiger's mouth, it's hard for black to attack the right side, but black could have initiative to attack, like maybe around here or around here. So if we count territory to this line for black, that's about 45. So that will be more or less enough for black, including 10 in the center, 10 in the bottom right, and the fact that black's also a little bit thicker. This move will be important. A very big reverse sente. So this move, if white responds, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is like a reverse sente 7 to 9 points. So if the general rule of thumb is if it's a reverse sente move, you should double that to compare that against a gote move. So this is a 15 plus gote move, roughly speaking. And I think now, or if not now, then in a few more moves, you won't be able to find a 15-point move on the board. So then this tiger's mouth will be the most valuable. The variable is whether white can get this sente atari. It's not certain, but I think it will complicate the game a lot if black starts this ko. But it's within the realm of possibility. I think now would be a really good time for white to atari, because if black didn't respond, white can gain back 20 points in the center. And before we counted territory up to this line, and maybe black can gain another 20, 25 in the center, but it was black's turn to play to begin with, and white can profit some back over here.
Thank God.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's a big news on the other board. Seems like Al made a mistake, so I'll quickly turn my attention to that board. Okay. So something happened here. Do you know where he messed up? He connected here.
When black ataried.
So he lost the liberty for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, so for those who weren't don't remember, black made this Atari exchange. And for the longest time, this Atari exchange is black's right, because white need to protect this eye. But after white started the capturing race against black's corner, this eye is no longer vital for the capturing race. So actually, white shouldn't have connected here. White should have just kept playing locally. So the white lost a liberty, and we know how important a liberty is in a big fight. So I think white is paying for that critical mistake. So now the entire group was captured.
Oh.
How many zones was that?
And black gets on the
13.
left side too.
Yeah. 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 35, 50, 40, 42 stones. 42 stones dead. Yeah, it also matter how white started this ko. if this group was alive, and just fought disco, I think white will have a good chance, because black would only have 60, maybe 70 overall. But the fact that this side group also died means there's no way for white to get an equal compensation. The top right might be 40 points, but we're talking about 80 points in the bottom left. Tech maybe even more. White started out with a territory advantage, but losing the left side, that's 30 points. And notice in this type of exchange, white already made a bunch of bad exchanges in the center. So even if you think you have to kill, the opponent's fine. The opponent has no chance. We still should be careful about making bad exchanges. So white lost a lot here.
I go back to what I said. I think if Sungsoo wins, plays against Jay.
Wow, so there's a lot of back and forth. I wonder if part of the mistake is from the fact that Al was down on time. So black has 105 points easily, and white has to find 100 points. So if white get this box shape, that's 60. And then this is 10, and then 20, and then a little bit here, so about 30. And if you extend a little bit to the center, that is 40. So if J somehow, if the entire top right dies for J,
Jay did mess up. He didn't need to answer. He could have answered white's threat.
yeah,
It wasn't a direct call.
he should have answered once.
Yes.
So actually, it's not hopeless for white. Black has to be careful.
What a game. My God.
I don't like this cut. I think this cut could be just losing a stone in white's side. So white should Atari here. And I'm not sure if this group can live. If not, then isn't black just losing a stone inside white territory? This doesn't seem to do much. Maybe
Crosscut also.
maybe thinking about the crosscut,
I don't know if it works.
but I don't. Yeah, I think black should be careful to not get gote here, and then for white to get this stone, and then now all of a sudden this becomes all territory, and then white has 100 points.
If black just answered that go threat himself, I don't know why he didn't answer.
So maybe I think Jay relaxed for a moment too, because white messed up from connecting here. So he thought, oh, I can give up that. This is 110 points. I have enough. But if you look carefully, there is a way for white to make 100 points too. So black has to be careful. Okay.
If he answers, white has to play a pass on the first line to start the go. And then he can just ignore everything. And it's the same as the game, except white threw into territory.
Yeah, so basically black lost his stone. So I think the biggest mistake for black is because was that black didn't answer the first code threat. So if had black captured once, black could have still had a code in the top right. And the bottom left, the shape will be the same, except white will need another move here. So in fact, black captures an extra stone here in the top right.
And also has one move elsewhere on the board.
Yeah, and also has a ko hanging. So this will make a huge difference. And in that case, I don't think white will have not even a fighting chance. And here we really have to count carefully. Like if this adds up to 100 points, Al might be winning.
That would be crazy.
10.
Mark.
Oh,
He's looking for the double Atari, but it doesn't work.
doesn't work for white. So this is
It doesn't work for black. Wait, does it actually?
I mean, black gained a tiny bit here, but it doesn't. It's not devastating.
Couldn't white take the stone though?
Yeah, I wonder if white had a better move here.
Yeah, to just take the stone,
Like,
and then
if-
if black does the double Atari, white takes the stone. Black takes the stone, and then white Atari's.
Yeah, so actually, instead of the extension here, white could have captured here. And then black double Atari, white captures. White captures white captures this stone. Black captures. No. Yeah, white captured this stone, black captured this stone, and then white can Atari here. And now actually the 4 stone, black stone is still surrounded by white, and black might not be able to escape. Yeah, that's a wild variation though. So now I think the game is gearing toward endgame. I think black has to be careful. White has a Atari here. I wonder if white played this move too quickly. White maybe could have considered this move. So made some sente exchanges here. So notice, so white has a sente connection here. So there could be aji in the corner. For example, maybe this is sente for white. So that's so white can slide into the corner in sente basically. And now it's, oh, I think, so this is white's chance to do something in the corner. I don't think answering anything on the right will be as valuable as sliding in. Yeah, what is the territory count here? White's probably still a little bit short because white lost a few points here. I'll try to count how many points black has again. I think that was 42. Actually, black still, unless my capture stones are counted wrong, black still only has 100, a little over 100. Ooh, okay. So here, yeah, if white can do a little bit in the corner, white's actually leading, according to our newest count by our champion. Hmm? Why did he extend here? I think white somehow made life here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is a 30 points roughly. So white lost a little coin, but this is a 20-point gain. Do we see his hand turning motion? I think he was confused, like, why did you let me do this? And then he plays his stone. Solid 2 eyes. So basically, we're one step closer towards a 5-way tie. And now there is very little room for black to make up the difference. And also, white's not dead in the corner yet. White just need a Hane here, and the corner is still alive. So there's still a 20-point move waiting for the 2 players here.
Good lord.
This might
Let the corner die.
to let this corner die.
Yes, white. I think you can only ghost me. I think it's better. I'm not sure.
Do you think so?
There's no Aji here though, so if you,
Let him in.
Yeah, it looks like it's better to just live.
I mean, you can turn Sente for sure. Like turn,
Oh, there's that move.
then connect.
Yeah.
Is
This
that a live shape? Oh,
for
right,
black.
the 2 stones are in Atari. I didn't notice. That's my mistake.
Oh, yes. And actually,
Oh,
this
hmm.
group, the black group, is not completely alive yet. Wait, no, it is. It's connected. Never mind.
And that move is huge.
So this move saves a corner.
So should white black cut?
Yeah, this is like 20 points.
Can black cut? Probably not worth it.
It doesn't do anything.
No, it doesn't. Or I thought it did. Blind. Just blind.
So I think many moves ago, I mentioned the possibility that white sacrifice the entire side and to capture the top right, assuming that the left side can live. I think we're living that reality.
Good lord. So should white turn first then?
Here,
No. At the top.
the top.
Yep, right there. Should white turn here first?
If white wants to live in the corner.
Okay.
But this turn is not super important though. Even if black blocks, white can connect later.
Yeah.
It's just 1 point. So what something happened here? Why was there a stone here?
He attached for some reason.
Oh, so black Kasumi here and then white attached and then
Yeah.
black extended. It's probably just a small loss. If our earlier count was correct, it seemed like this game is not actually that close anymore. Oh, he didn't
He chose
see.
the Kasumi.
Either he didn't see or he thought the Kosumi is cleaner. It's probably not a big deal because this is Sente and then maybe white can get a monkey jump here later. So for Gote, maybe it's like white transfer 10 points on the top left to an undetermined number of points on the right side.
What's the count?
So we're gonna ask our champion Eric to do another count for us to see this situation.
Yeah, do another count for us.
I don't know all the captured stones, but
This is 13 here.
13, 26, and that's 15 more, 30, 31, 57, 60, 4, 9, 10, 70, 8, 10, 80, 6, 7, 87. So black has about 88, maybe actually 87, only 87. I forget about this one, maybe up to 90 with that. And white has 20.
Exciting game.
23.
I think white is backing off a little bit in the end game. Wonder if that would change the final
6,
count a little bit.
60, 74.
But it seemed like white was doing okay even without the left side living. So I have to guess white should be comfortably ahead right now.
White's up by about 4 points.
Oh, so close.
Really? Wow.
So it seems like giving up the minor mistakes here in the middle added up to probably close to 10 points. And that tipped the result toward black a little bit. That block was another.
It's gotta be the best move.
Is the best move.
Is it?
What else can you play? It's the only move. Oh, you want to
Because black.
bamboo?
I think this
Bamboo.
move will be.
Bamboo might be
Yeah, over. Yeah, definitely bamboo or this move.
That bamboo has liberty issues.
Then
I think the other bamboo though. So I think the move he played is fine.
I think this move will be best because then black can Hana here send Sente.
Yeah.
That move may be best.
Because now if black
won't.
Hanes, white can just cut.
Yeah, so if this is that if black can just Hane once and then bamboo, even if white cuts here later, black can Atari. So what we're talking about here is now maybe like a point difference, a point or two. But I think if this saves the game, this is what we're
Black
working
cut
with.
that move. But that's pretty big.
I hope white remembers to Hane connect here in Sente. This is 2-4 Sente 4.
It's more than that. Because also white has an extra point.
It's
center
3-4.
3, 4. I see what you're saying.
And it's also really big if black gets it.
I don't. What happened? So white Atari and then black Atari. So maybe Jay thinks he's losing now, so he's trying to do something.
It's coming down.
Oh. Exciting. So maybe connect, right? There's no.
Well,
It's very, very close.
very close.
Very, very close. Al's doing well. Yeah, so now the time is 38 minutes to 4, but at this stage of the game, I think 4 minutes is plenty. This doesn't seem like white has co-threats, so I think connecting should be without a doubt. And then black connects.
Black has to block it.
Yeah, so
That would be enough
what?
for black to win now.
Yeah, so black gained several points here again.
I think that's probably going to be a black win. Especially if the top left now gets played.
Yeah, should
So-
black go to the top left first? Yeah, this is huge.
But this is reverse Sente 4, but this is probably bigger than 4. And in this stage of the game, I think reverse Sente is not worth as much.
How big is that one? Black will answer
2,
it.
5,
Black will answer it. So if you're saying it's
5.5.
5.5, reserve Sente 4 is bigger than 5.5 at this stage.
So maybe white lost a point.
No. Because there's this move still that's Gote, right?
This is this move.
What else is big on this?
Yeah, are they just leaving that up there like that?
So how big
It
is?
literally-
Yeah. So the SGF of this game, I think the best option will be to ask the players later. They will be available to
or rewatch the video.
or-
Rewind the video.
rewind the video. Especially on YouTube, you can rewind the video and you can look at where the moves are played. Even if it's not the game we're focusing on, the other game is in the corner.
You might be right. There aren't that many goatees left if white's getting the last goatee anyway.
So it's not as devastating.
Yeah, it's not a big
Yeah, so a little bit quick note. So black did get this reverse Sente 4, and the general rule of thumb is you double the value of the reverse Sente, so it will be like almost like a reverse go to 8 points. But the value of the reverse Sente decreases as the game progresses, and the reason being the alternative points are getting smaller and smaller. So reverse Sente 4 will be worth 8, like in the mid game to early end game. But at the end now, there are only 2 or 3 point end games. The reverse Sente is not worth as much. Okay, so it's still Jay's turn. So the earlier count, Eric said white was about 4 points behind.
4 points ahead.
Oh no, white was 4 points ahead, but now black gained some on the right. But then black made this first line Hane. So this move is definitely bigger. This is only a 2 point endgame.
He wants to get that Sente. But it's not going to be Sente. How are we doing? Because white captures.
White can capture here and then Atari here. Wait, no, white can't.
Oh, white can't capture. Okay.
Why not?
Oh, black and bump. And try to cut it.
Bump.
I can just bump and then cut. White would be dead.
So did white lose another point here?
Yeah, I guess white shouldn't have blocked.
Yeah, why shouldn't? So the block was a mistake. Why should have taken this opportunity to play the middle this move? This Hane is 2 points reverse Sente.
Yeah, black is probably
The Q player Peanut Gallery wants to know if this is a good move for black.
For the cut?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm misreading it. I'm at the wrong angle. Sorry,
Oh.
sorry, I thought it was a connection.
So notice black cannot Hane here. It would be nice if white can make this endgame, but due to the earlier Liberty shortage, black can cut here. So notice these 4 stones are being captured.
unless black does it anyway.
So this exchange, I guess white still has a 2-point endgame here. There's a 2-point endgame here, 2 points here,
It's
a point here, another point here.
it's less than 2 points. It's 1. It's 2/3 Sente.
Well, if white captures,
If black will answer. Oh wait, there's a
there's a
now
Liberty
I can see
shortage,
that.
yeah.
But no, if white captures, black plays a tardy.
Here,
Yeah.
it actually doesn't matter.
And then there's 2 points. 2 points Miai.
Where's the 2 point?
Capturing here is 2 points. Oh, it
Oh,
doesn't
I
matter.
can just
You're saying it
connect,
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
So you have to
I
connect
still
here
have to just
anyways.
connect in there anyways. Oh, that's
So
not very
just-
big. It's 3 points.
2, right?
You capture 1. Oh, I'm blind.
Just 2.
Yeah, just 2. Being blind is hard.
Whose turn is it?
It's Jay's turn. So I think the correct endgame will be blocking here and then connect. Maybe black wants to make a Sente exchange here.
This 2-point move is bigger, right?
This move or this move? This is
Either
not 2
one.
points.
Is it not? I thought. You're right. It's not. It's not.
I guess black can treat these 2 as Miai.
Yeah.
And then just focus on the middle. Focus on the middle. Oh, this is big because after this, black has another move. So this is 2 points. So maybe white has to connect here. Should we try to count again? I count about 83, 84 for black. Maybe I'm missing a point here.
I don't know the captures, but I counted white as 79. But I'm not. I don't know all the captures.
Black doesn't have much capture besides these. Just another one here.
I don't know how much white has captured, but I guess white already has 79. Then with Komi, white's still leading.
So it seemed like white is still okay. And if black can get these, if black can make 2 eyes in the middle, that will give black an extra point here. Or if black can make a big eye here, for example, like this shape.
That's not a big eye.
A big enough eye.
Big enough.
Wow, so I bet that's what Jay's doing now. Is recounting the points at every move.
So if it ends up being, it might end up being the 4.5 still.
I could be undercounting black by a few, but it seemed like the game is still slightly better for white.
Should we take a look at the other game?
Oh, I overcounted white by 1. I just realized I gave white all the points there.
So we'll check back in a few minutes, and as of right now, we think white has a slight edge.
Oh, we've been on that game for a while.
Well, we know the other game won't progress very quickly.
Well, it has to because they're on time.
There only been about 15 moves. So basically, black extended in the center. White made a jump. Okay, I'm glad Cheuk found this enormous tiger's mouth.
I was wondering earlier if white played it, if I was going to fight the ko. It was that.
This is starting to hold like a 5-way tie.
I have to think black captured these and then got that tiger's mouth. I think black is doing it. I think black is winning even without doing a close count. This is just too big.
Is this one blurry because of the camera?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about the screen being a little blurry. I think sometimes it's hard to set up. We are using our phone to capture the board position. So sometimes the phone camera becomes out of focus.
It might be overheating a bit.
Or overheating, as Paige just pointed out. And in terms of their time, both players are quite low. Cheuk has 1 minute and something and change. Sungsoo has a little under 4 minutes. I think we can just place a Tiger's Mouth for white. This crosscut is still potentially possible, but I think if black is winning, maybe black wouldn't try to start this.
It looks very free.
But it does look very free. So I think if white fixes here, this will be a good time to test. This ko, if white loses this ko, the white lose a lot of points in the corner. And it doesn't seem like white has a lot of ko threats on the board.
Black, if white loses a ko, white dies.
But no, white can connect here and fight this ko.
Oh, fight that ko. Sometimes it's hard.
Okay, so if we do a quick count. So both sides have one capture, makes the capture easy to figure out. Why do I count black has 90? How is that possible? There's no way white has 80, right? Am I miscounting?
Let me count black.
So more like 80, 83, 85. But I think it's close. And then counting white now. 6, 8, 10.
I count like 82 for black.
82, 83, yeah. I think white is in like the 65 range.
Oh no.
So it looks like about a 15 point on the board. But it does require black to see this cut.
Oh.
And if not, then white gains several points. 4 or 5 points. Maybe more. 6. So then white might be able to gain about 4 or 5. Up to 6 points. But even with that extra 5, 6 points, black would still be ahead, actually. The Aji here now become really bad. What if black do something like this bump?
Scary.
Oh, he's hovering around the connect.
He wants to play the big sente move. He doesn't see the bigger.
But even,
CG.
yeah.
Like, it is important that he should play there if he doesn't see it. But
Oh, Cheuk. He's been doing a lot of endgame prep, but I guess he hasn't seen this crosscut yet. He should have attended Sungsoo's crosscut lecture. Maybe he would have covered this type of crosscut. It is a little bit hard to see if you don't know the shape, because it looks like black had a lot of stones in Atari, but actually there's still a way for black to do something despite all this double Atari. Oh, so the other game is done. Let's check. We'll give people the fastest update. So black has 30, 40, 43. So white needs 36. Yeah, they're counting. Yes, very exciting. We're gonna follow it live. Oh, actually, there's a few more captures. So black's down to 35. So white only needs 28. Looks like white has enough, but we'll have to see. There's 10 in the bottom right. Yeah, so okay. 3 more. $24, $34, $30, $33.
I can't see how many captures they have.
There's none left.
No, he had two in his hand.
Oh.
They're trying to make a pretty shape.
No, they're trying to make a box shape with the 10s, and they're failing at doing that right now. Just give them a moment. It's been a long game. So white has 32, black's 35. It's a 4.5. So Eric's count 100 moves ago seems to have been very accurate. So huge congratulations to Al. So now both Al and Jeremiah are ended with a 2-3 record. And if Cheuk wins, we're shaping up to have a 5-way tie. Very exciting. So the 13-year-old Al once again beats another more experienced player. We saw Paige's hand there. I think she was helping them count. So if we remember what happened in the game, there was a 120-point call, and after a lot of other exchanges, it ended up being a 4-point game. So my advice to everyone, always count and don't relax. Don't relax. So I think both sides relaxed for a few points in the game, and that really created problems for them. And in this game, luckily for Al, he prevailed at the end. Indeed, Brendan, it was far closer than we anticipated to be. It looked like everything died for white, but then white saved everything, and then everything died again. And then somehow it was still kind of close. And then white saved a group on the side. And I think that kind of sealed the deal, looking back. Al, come over here. So we are on stream now. Oh yeah, they're still going. So we'll have the other board out. But we have the winner of Al Tang right here. Come in the
Hi.
camera. You want to say hi to the chat? So
Hi.
that was a crazy game.
I know, right?
Yes,
Oh,
that was a crazy game.
okay.
How do you feel during the game? When do you know you won? Do you know you win at the end? We were trying to count.
I mean, I knew it was close, but didn't know.
So you didn't know
Really,
until
yeah.
you counted?
Yeah, and then I knew it was really close.
And out here, he recorded his game live during the game. So he's definitely going to review that later.
Okay. If that group is dead, I would have lost by a lot.
You think so? I
Yeah.
think we were counting. If that group, even if that group died, it's uncertain.
Oh,
Which one?
So
This group?
in your
No.
game,
this one?
white lived on the side at the very end in the end game.
Yeah, I know, because I messed up.
But even if that group died, it's not a guaranteed win for you.
Well, yeah, because you could have gotten the corner.
In the
Oh.
center.
But I think black should answer the code right here.
Okay,
So we have Jay here too. You want
So
to
if I
come
connect?
in? Here,
Yeah.
come into the camera too. Say hi to the chat.
God.
Here's
you're
Jeremiah
embarrassing me.
Donley. It was a fun game though, I gotta
I
say.
threw it so hard.
It was
I
crazy.
so in the corner I
Okay, keep
played.
quiet.
Oh, sorry.
Here, so they can
In
hear
the
us.
corner, I had played the empty triangle, but if I'd played the other one, it's still threatening to cut the group off, and there's no extra cuts. It's only the 3 stones that I have to protect. Oh, it's so bad.
So
I
did
was so mad after I
you
played
just,
it.
did you just add a new answers go threat? What does white
Oh,
do?
just take,
Yeah, just take answers go threat.
and then he takes,
And then you just like played random 2-space extension.
Yeah,
and then he
that code is
answers.
too
And you
big.
take the code and ignore everything.
So we just
Oh
showed
my
Jay
God.
about the code blunder at the end that allow white to
Oh
capture
my
the
God.
corner.
Yeah, black
That's
can just
so
answer
bad.
the code threat. Because it's not a direct code.
You know, I have like,
Oh.
yeah, I had
Oh,
30
yeah.
minutes on the clock. I could have spent more time.
Yeah, so it seemed like Jay made more mistakes at the end, even though he was ahead on time. Well, when did you feel like the game was in danger again after you killed a big group? Do you think
After
you
I let
won?
his, when he invaded the corner, so like I added stones in the, I can't show you, but I added stones in his center area. If I just added a stone in my corner before that, I think I would have won, because the side group and the corner is
Yeah.
bigger than the center.
Yeah.
Letting him save his stuff, that's like 30 points right there. But then white also.
So
messed
we
up
are
here,
setting up for a 5-way
'cause
tie. I don't know if you are
I don't
aware
know how
because
this
Eric
connection
did win.
happened.
Huh?
I don't know how this
Oh.
connection happened, but it was almost certainly a mistake whenever it happened. When white,
My
Oh.
connection or
when
white
white
connection?
connected there, that was probably a mistake whenever it
Well,
happened.
he also lost another liberty.
We're
by
still
playing this
also
one.
on stream, so I'll give
Yeah.
them a word about the
white played that?
potential 5-way tie.
White played that without a black
A
throw in?
5-way
Huh?
tie?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
Chuck
You
winning?
were supposed to throw
Chuck,
in.
he's not
Albert,
bad.
White played Atari. Jay never threw in.
I never threw in. He played Atari.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, so I threw
You
it.
lost 2 liberties.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's probably
So,
why I didn't
is Chuck
answer that, because
losing?
I kept
Okay,
thinking.
so this is Chuck's game. Oh, not this one.
Oh.
Chuck is black.
Okay.
So what do you think about potential 5-way tie?
It seems likely.
Wait.
Chuck winning.
Yeah. I think.
Oh, well, Chuck saved the.
Well, that's great. He's
3.
winning.
Wait,
gonna
it's
be a
black's
5-way.
turn? How is that black's turn? So then black and Atari,
Okay.
Atari, and then capture 2 stones.
Okay. Good
Wow.
luck, guys.
And
I'm glad to be out of this time.
if you take a Greyhound back, you can make the 11 p.m. shift. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think Chuck said he wasn't going to do the 5-way tie.
We'll see. We'll see.
He was just going to split second place.
We'll see. $10 per person.
Yeah.
So we'll keep the stream updated about the potential 5-way tie and how it will be resolved.
Okay. Okay.
But black gained massively here. I don't think there's a way for Sungsoo to make up the difference, because earlier these 3 were capture stones for white. And
Chuck has a huge top. There's no way.
yeah, before that, black was already doing well in territory before these 3 were saved. And then not only did black save 3 stones, black also reduced white's bottom and then captured 2. And white didn't really gain anything noticeable in the center. Oh, and then something more happened. So white cannot connect here. I think
Oh.
black can capture. So I think at this point, black's already ahead by probably 20 points.
Oh no.
I think it's because they're both down on time. Looking at the clock now, it seems like Sungsoo has 20 seconds while Chuck has 25. So they're both down to the last minute.
Chuck definitely sees it. Yeah.
Oh.
So that might be the game.
Wait, isn't there more problems?
How many people are watching?
Yes, there is.
Is there more problem? No.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. Where?
Okay.
Black should throw in.
Throw in?
Yeah, and Here,
Here, Atari, connect.
just an asking question.
There could be a Sente
okay.
Hane extend.
Oh, no, maybe it doesn't work.
Everyone got swindled in the last round.
See how my game ended?
Yeah, I did.
I was behind anyway, but I was like behind by like 8 points or something.
I think the quality of games in the last round has been pretty high. I think it was really exciting. There were definitely mistakes, but I think today is the most exciting day, especially this round. All the games were pretty close. There's a lot of back and forth.
I thought yesterday was really exciting.
Yesterday was really
crazy.
Yesterday was really exciting
It's just
too.
sad that nobody got to see the Sungsoo versus Eric game.
Yeah, that was somehow not streamed.
Okay.
I think Cheuk definitely played much better today. I think his biggest mistake was the questionable attach here, and then the in terms of reading is not seeing this cross cut earlier. But other than that, I think his direction of play has been very accurate, and Sungsoo just wasn't able to turn this game into a messy fighting game where his like probably stronger reading and opening advantage can translate into a win. I think the top left, Black really gained too much from the cut, from the capture to later the tiger's mouth, and then White having to answer. And at the same time, somehow Black protected everything in the middle. So White made some moves inside Black territory. I think this is White's last chance to test Black. Black has to be careful here.
2, 4, 6.
But actually, even if Black gives up a little bit, Black is still comfortably ahead. But Black just needs to not let the right side, these 5 stones die. Is there anything? Unfortunately, because this Black group is already alive and connected, there isn't much for White to do, because even separating the groups doesn't do anything for White.
He loves to do that.
So we have this kind of a watch party going on here. But, for the people who have finished, the Jay's here, Al's here, Paige is still here. We're just paying very close attention to the last round. So you have played all 5 players at this point. What do you think of each person's strengths and weaknesses? Like if you play Jay again, how are you gonna play him? What will you be your strategy next time? I mean, you might come to the Chicago Open too, right? You're gonna see this guy again.
Yeah. Probably not open. I don't know. Maybe.
You should definitely play in the open.
Okay.
Especially
Hey, you beat 2 open level players.
Okay.
This guy's a Masters level player.
I mean, I'm great at swindling games, and then I'm also great at being swindled. So I need to cool my jets, not play so fast, because I played that descent so fast.
Also, your earlier capture that allow White to throw in the corner. If you just descend, the very beginning, in the bottom left corner, you capture, which allowed him to throw in 1-2. I just
yeah. If I had descended, it would have changed. But
who would have thought that
in that specific
would
like,
change the game?
I already talked about that, but he'd won by I think 5.5 or 6.5. So if that group had died, I would have won,
Oh.
even if he got the corner.
But he made more mistakes in the center.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard to say. It was a little wide open. Arguable. I think you might win, but then if that group lives, you had no chance.
Oh my god. I made the game more complicated than it needed to be.
How are you gonna beat Paige next time?
I forgot our game. What was it
It
like?
was that big trade.
It was a very fast game. It ended before
Play slower.
I blinked basically.
Yeah, it's Fisher time.
Yeah, you should not try
Yes,
to play as fast as Paige.
it's
That's
Fisher
just an
time 1
exercise in
hour
futility.
plus 15 seconds per move. So in terms of game length, it's comparable to a U.S. Open game.
Also should not
about
try to
3
be as
hours.
fast as Jay, so you did a good job that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my advice to Al might have worked. I told Al to slow down to catch Jay's
Yeah.
mistake.
He caught my he caught my big mistake.
How are you gonna beat Eric next time?
Don't get into a messy fight.
Like, can you beat him at Endgame though?
I don't know. We didn't play any, did we?
Like we played a few moves at Endgame,
Okay.
but there wasn't much left.
Oh.
Yeah.
You should also slow down when you play Eric,
Okay.
because there's a very large move
Yeah,
that you
we-
could have
we
played
looked
and he
at
would have
that.
lost.
Yeah, we looked at that move. That was a big chance.
Can you describe what happened in your game against Eric? I think a lot of people wasn't able to watch it yesterday.
Oh yeah, that wasn't streamed, was it? So basically, we got into this messy fight, and there was this vital point. We didn't play it, and basically, whoever got it would have won, but we didn't see it. And then, yeah,
Are you
I was-
aspiring to be a professional?
No.
Donley?
no,
You don't want to?
He just wants to be stronger than Albert.
I don't think I even can.
Hey, you're only 13.
You're American, aren't you?
What?
You're American, yeah.
You can go to pro qual in a few years.
I mean,
And even if you're just like a permanent resident, once you're 18, you can choose your citizenship.
oh,
But like, if you're a permanent resident, you can become pro. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, because Michael's a permanent resident. He's a professional, so yeah.
If you wanted to.
okay.
If you wanted to, you can be an American.
So I think
pro.
this game is wrapping up. They're both. Oh, I think they're fixing.
Is the clock paused?
No. Okay, so it is still going on, but it's White's turn.
Is that 50 something seconds? Oh, no, it's a
120
minute.
and 111. Oh, I guess not. So Al, assuming
Okay.
you can, I think you can play in the pro qual. Do you think you'll be
Yeah.
interested in participating? in
I was
the
asking
year?
if he was a
Not
citizen.
necessarily this
Okay.
year, but in like a
Maybe.
year or two.
No. I don't think I can win in a year or two.
You gotta have more confidence.
You can have more
Okay.
confidence.
Because you're
yeah.
already really strong. Because we're participating this year. And you just beat
See,
Okay.
you
two
believe in
players
Al.
on the level.
Okay.
There's some
Okay. Thank
a
you.
lot of support from the chat there.
Yay.
Yeah, someone told me you're Fox 7 done, right?
Yeah. No.
I think you can make it to 8 ton.
Yeah, I think you can
Okay.
make it as well.
You can play me at 8 down.
Okay.
You probably won't be
You
able
can make it
to
to
hold
eight
on to
down.
8 on.
Yeah.
And
Like,
if you make it to
8
eight
on
down
and come back
and
down.
hold it, then you're basically at most of the players' levels that participate in pro quals.
Oh, okay. How many people are there?
Maybe
I think
16ish.
this year's total will be significantly stronger than last year's.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
you're right.
significantly stronger.
There's probably going to be a lot of Canadians.
That'll be fun.
Guan Yu's going to be playing probably, and he's about Kenny's level, I heard. A little bit, like one tier below Kenny's level.
Kenny?
Kenny, you played?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's also possible you might get Brady.
Yeah, if Brady shows up. He's strong. Chiu's strong.
I don't think Brady's been practicing though. He may not show up.
He's playing. He's playing. He's active in the tournament that
Oh.
I'm in, so.
Oh,
How do you do in Redmond Cup this year?
I didn't start yet.
Haven't started yet?
My first
Oh.
opponent's Blake.
You're learning from Han Han, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is he? How does he really? How does he structure the lessons? Do you play teaching game with him or
No,
review
just
your game?
review my games.
How long is each lesson?
About an hour, like
And,
give or take.
and then how often?
A week.
Once
each
a week.
Yeah.
How long have you been learning from him?
So at the start, I was learning from him with 2 other people. So it was a group class,
lesson.
and it was really long because he had to review other
Yeah.
people's games. And it's like 15 minutes per person per game. So, and there was like 3 people. So one class would be like 1.5 hours to 2 hours. It was really long, and yeah.
Do you think that's helped you get to now about almost 5 down? I remember a couple years ago, I think when I first met you, you were like 1 or 2. So
Dawn?
yeah, you
Oh,
improved a
yeah.
lot in the past few years.
Okay.
If only someone beat Eric.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just too that good.
Two that good.
Too that good.
I tried.
I have to show my 6-dan level.
So yeah, if Eric is our only official 6 down here. The other players are rated 5, except Al. You think you're 4?
I'm AGA 3.
You're AJ 3.8 or
You're
something.
definitely
3.6.
Yeah.
4
So
dollars
We're
straight.
predicting.
Oh, my rating.
We're predicting
No.
approximately 4.
I think we have another 4 down now.
Wait, Chuck.
I probably won't lose 1.6. 1 point. It's like 0.14, 0.15. I don't know.
You probably 4.
You think I'm gonna lose that much?
Actually, you won 2 games.
Yeah, I beat
Oh,
Sungsoo
so you're
and
fine.
Chuck.
You're fine. You're
Your
fine.
Your
You're
average
fine.
opponent rating was actually higher than your rating.
Wait, you did.
Even
beat
if you
Sungsoo?
factor Al's.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's good.
Wait, you actually did beat
The
Sungsoo?
difference between him and Al and him
Yeah,
and me is actually pretty
I beat
small.
Sungsoo.
I thought
Like
that game you
1.4.
No, I won.
Yeah, we're 1.2 apart.
Oh, okay.
See,
So
this whole
it's a
time you thought
wash.
I was 1 and 3.
lost. Yeah.
That's
Wait,
rude.
no. He lost to both of you though.
Yeah, but he also beat. I'm just saying his average opponent rating was above his own rating,
Okay.
and then he went 2 and 3. So he went -1 game against an average of opponents that was higher than him. So he won't go down more than like 0.04.
All I know
We're
is
discussing potential rating changes, so maybe that's not the super exciting. Maybe
You'll-
some people in chat
you'll
be
still be
curious.
the only odd man out here is Eric. Okay, there is a circle within this tournament
Al is also
of
gonna
people
get
beating
gain
each other.
rating.
Huh?
What?
Yeah, Al and I are both going to gain rating, and everybody else is going to lose rating.
Yeah.
Wait, so what do we do if it's like a 5-way tie or 6-way? Oh, no.
We'll
5-way.
find out. So it might be a good idea for you guys to grab a quick bite of food, just in case. Whatever.
You think Chuck's
So-
gonna hold a 5-way tie?
Actually, there's this one time I was in a blitz tournament, and so 15 games total. Each person won 3, so it's a 6-way tie.
Yeah,
Round
we should
robin.
probably actually eat. That's a good idea.
So one thing that
So-
we might do is have 2 players play off in like a pre-round, and then the winner of that game plus 3 other players, that makes 4 to have like a single elimination turn.
Okay.
So that'd be 3 rounds. Or one player might say, I don't care, and then that just skips around if like one player drops out because then there's 4 people. Or Chuck might say, this is too much effort, let's just split.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen.
I'll grab a quick snack too.
I hope it
Okay.
happens. I want to see if the blitz happens.
But the
Okay.
game is definitely ending momentarily.
I want to see a lot of
So
blitz.
the viewers will be able to see the game, and I'll be back when they're counting, which will happen in probably another minute. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I just got the final confirmation. Cheuk won by resignation. So we do have a 5-way tie, and now the players are going to take a quick lunch break, and we'll resume the tiebreak games this afternoon at about 12:30, or not 12:30, 1:30 Central Time. So thank you guys for following. We'll be back in about 50 minutes.